Hello, shooting enthusiasts.
A lot has been said about the changes we're expecting regarding rifle clothing regulations in the 2026 ISSF rules.
Based on a recent workshop held in Munich last June. Let's begin by saying these are not final rules yet, but they do reflect the intention the ISSF is currently exploring. Detailed wording and official statements for the 2026 ISSF rules will follow, along with more explanations and guidance from the Federation before the 2026 season begins. And now, let's take a closer look. The ISSF is concerned about three main things.
First, performance advantages from stiff supportive clothing.
Scores are getting really high, which is good, but it's also starting to put the discipline at risk.
And there's no way we can make the targets even tougher without changing the sport itself. Second, the cost barrier created by advanced materials and custom tailoring. And this is especially true for young and upcoming shooters, and it's making it harder for the sport to continue growing. And third, the overall presentation of the sport. In particular, how some athletes struggle to walk normally in full competition gear. Let's face it, we all have seen it, and so has the International Olympic Committee. So, this is all about preserving fairness, accessibility, and the Olympic image of shooting. So, how is the ISSF planning to address it? The current proposal involves two stages. Stage 1 will begin in 2026 with moderate adjustments to jackets, trousers, and footwear. And Stage 2 will come right after the LA 2028 Olympic Games and may include stricter regulations depending on how the sport evolves. This timeline will give athletes and manufacturers the time to adapt. Now, let's break down to the proposed changes. We'll begin with the rifle jackets.
Double canvas will only be allowed in the shoulder and arm areas.
The rest of the jacket must be made of single thickness material. The front bottom overlap will now be increased from 70 millimeters to 80 millimeters to reduce chest compression. For rifle trousers, double canvas will only be allowed in the lower back or lumbar area.
To figure out how much of the trousers can be reinforced, each leg should be folded in half and then folded again. If that second fold reaches the knee pad, the reinforced area needs to stop above it.
And now for footwear. High rifle shoes will not be permitted anymore, and only flexible and low ankle boots, like the pistol shoes, will now be allowed. What if you cannot buy new shoes yet? Well, current rifle boots can still be used, but they must be modified to expose the ankle. Shoe soles must allow natural flex of the foot. In other words, we won't be seeing the so-called penguin walk anymore. Athletes should be able to move naturally between positions. So a few other updates were mentioned too. Kneeling rolls may now be of unlimited size. Let's remember that in the last rule book, this was limited to a maximum of 18
centimeters
in diameter. Also, the toe of the shoe must now be in contact with the ground when kneeling. This was something that it was not specifically said in our last rulebook. Clothing and footwear will require new seals in 2026. And yes, juries might need to use yellow cards more often, especially in finals to correct the penguin walk during athletes' presentations. But hopefully, if we all work together and understand the spirit behind this rule, we don't really need to see so many yellow cards out there. Once these changes are in place, we might need to take another look at the current world records in rifle events. But that's something to think about later, after we have seen how the athletes adjust and perform under these new rules. Now, this is very important. The ISSF has confirmed that final wording and guidance will be published before the 2026 season begins. So nothing is official yet, but the direction is clear. So now, tell me, how will these changes affect your discipline or your training? Do you see any benefits or challenges? Let me know in the comments. See you next time. I'm the shooting judge and I am here to help. Bye bye.